Hello. Testing mic. Hello. Testing mic. Hello. Pushing some links on the social media. Pushing some links on the social media. Pushing some links on social media. Raz. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, let's go. The usual. The usual setup. Still waiting for the people to join. Some people perhaps will join soon. Still waiting for the people to join. Some people perhaps will join soon. Okay, so we wait. We need the safe testing methods to perform any vulnerability assessment or penetration test. We need the safe testing methods to perform any vulnerability assessment or penetration test. That's good. You shall not pass. That's good. The good baseline security is our. We got the segmentation of the network, the SIM, the firewall, and we managed to asset the inventory. So that's my usual start, my usual path to start the scenario. Let's do the vulnerability assessment, and since we got the ICS safe testing methods, we won't kill our ICS devices, so we are fine. Okay. Can close end the turn. While the vulnerability assessment is going, I like to request the ICS vendor certification, which will provide us with the opportunity, with the ability actually to patch the ICS systems without destroying them or damaging them. So the ICS systems without destroying them or damaging them. And we wait. We got some vulnerabilities. We got the certification, so we can patch some vulnerabilities in our ICS devices. We should get the bonus of 10,000. Yeah, $10,000 bonus. Budget Defender. Okay, there are a couple of, for example, this device has weak password vulnerability. I guess this also, this too. So all of them have the weak password vulnerability. In order to mitigate that, we need to enforce strong passwords. So we need to make policies and procedures first. Okay, got one person left, so I guess we can do some hardening or patching on the firewalls. Let's change default credentials on this one. Still waiting on the policies and procedures. How about this time I will deploy the USB security. Yeah, I will deploy it on the endpoints. One more turn and we can take care of the weak password vulnerability. Yes, that's good. Enforce strong passwords. One more turn and we can... I like to encrypt the network traffic as well. We can do some updates on the firmware here. Okay, so we got the physical security related event. So we need to get some physical security. So I will install the electronic looks. Let's change the default credentials on the switch. Okay. Now I can go with the ICS security monitoring. Yeah. Okay. Because if those devices are compromised, and it's really easy for the adversary to damage the ICS process. Once the ICS process is damaged, this is the game is over. Okay, we are kinda low on the budget, but not that bad. Let's take care of the default credentials. Okay, that's good. So let's do the penetration test now and request the budget. I'm planning on doing the penetration test, then the vulnerability mapping sometime in the near future, because I do believe if you perform all the testing, all the vulnerability related testings like mapping, penetration testing and vulnerability assessment, you get the event for the extra person. So yeah, let's do that. Hopefully the budget is successful. Requesting the budget, yeah, it's good. Got some results of the penetration test, but we need the ICS vendor certification. It enforces strong passwords. Lots of vulnerabilities. Okay, we got something compromised. What to do with this? Let's patch it. Let's deploy. Let's update the antivirus. Let's activate the incident response. Yeah, let's end the turn now. Okay. So now we can clean the asset and gather the forensics and perform the threat hunting. While you are in the incident response mode, you are not able to perform anything but the incident response related actions or the threat hunting. So I guess we can perform some threat hunting on the gateways. Yeah, assets is cleaned. You can look at the threat intelligence score. It went up, so we can deactivate the incident response and perform some threat hunting. Let's do the threat hunting on the endpoints on the user workstations. Let's see how our users are doing. Okay. I guess we need to patch our ICS systems. Yep. That's great. Okay, what we need? I want to do the two-factor authentication now. I want the system backups now. And let's see. Okay, and I will schedule the vulnerability mapping. So I have possibility of receiving the extra person. I do believe it is the way to perform this. Okay, let's do the security awareness now. Yeah. Okay, vulnerability mapping is completed. I was talking about deploying some more USB security, but I wasn't doing that. So let's actually deploy some USB security measures. Let's harden some systems, I guess. Update the firmware, harden our firewalls. Let's end the turn. So we got everything. The penetration test, the vulnerability assessment, and the vulnerability mapping done. So I do believe we should get the event now. Let's change the default credentials. Antivirus here. System patches. I'm doing some mitigation. We're not doing that great. I was hoping for the extra person now. I guess I will deploy the USB security. It appears that in this game the adversary, the red team, is performing the USB drop attacks very often. So we can just do it again, I guess. Let's go with the security skills training now. Oh, I don't have the third person, so let's go with the SDLC. Drinking some coffee too. Let's go with the VPN. Why not? Kinda low on the budget. Intruder was arrested. So let's go with the second physical security related measure, defensive measure. Okay, I don't have resources, so we will wait one turn. And now we go with the physical security. Guess we request the budget. I guess we install the network security sensor here. Let's do the vulnerability mapping. Okay, let's harden the firewall. Still waiting on the extra person. go with the endpoint security. Okay, we got the threat hunter. Okay. Let's do the penetration test. Let's implement the strong Wi-Fi as well. At this point we are just getting the stuff that we didn't get, yeah. I will complete the USB security on every machine. Let's see the event. I guess something should pop up. Asset out of service. Okay. I'm looking at our actions because something could fail and kill our asset, but it's not the case. So I guess I activate the incident response. I update the antivirus on the machine. I threat hunt the machine, and we will clean and gather forensics. Yeah, that's good. We can do some threat hunting. Let's threat hunt our remote machines. Still waiting on our forensics and cleaning of the asset. We can deactivate the incident response. Okay, we got some vulnerability here, but we are not able to request the ICS vendor certificate yet because of the incident response. So we can do some threat hunting. Let's threat hunt our sector, our orange segment. Okay, nothing is compromised. Let's request the ICS vendor certification. Let's do some patches on the machines that are not ICS machines. Okay, and maybe I can do the security skills training now. It's a little bit risky, maybe, because I will use free. Intruder was arrested. Oh, we need the physical security measure, which is the installing the cameras now. It's a little bit pricey. Let's do it. Hopefully nothing will happen now, because we are without the human resources. Now we are good to go, so we can patch this system. We can enforce strong passwords. We can request the budget. What we got left? Let's install some more network sensors. At this point I'm just getting the stuff I didn't have yet. Yeah, and the last sensor. Let's do some patching for our file share systems. But let's hopefully our budget will be successful. It's good. get some event for the network sensors deployed. Nothing actually interesting here. We got the budget. Okay, what can we do? Guess we can do the incident response procedures now. Let's install endpoint security on firewalls and on our email server. Quickly checking. Okay, we got something compromised. That's good news. Can activate the incident response. Yep. We can patch the system, we can update the antivirus, and we can harden it. And we request cleaning the asset and gathering the forensics. If you gather the forensics, the threat intelligence score will go up. Once the threat intelligence score is 100%, you win automatically. So we can do some threat hunting. And we wait on our forensics to finish. Okay, the creation of incident response procedure have failed. That's interesting. Okay, so we have cleaned the asset. Deactivate the incident response. Let's threat hunt on our most valuable sector. Nothing. Can I get something? I can try again. Let's try again. Performing some mitigation on the user workstation. It's going fine. Let's do the penetration test. Let's request the LFCS vendor certification. Got some systems to patch. That's good. There are no vulnerabilities on the LFCS devices. At this point I'm just doing testing and mitigating vulnerabilities. So the incident response procedures were successful this time. So we got everything. I could also try installing the endpoint protection on each device, but I don't have enough time. Let's put it on our file share server. Patching. Patching and winning, I guess. We are almost finished. Oh yeah, almost done. Let's patch everything. And we are won. I mean, yeah, we won. Okay, so they did some USB drops. So I guess the AI in this game really likes to perform the USB dropping. This is interesting. There was no single turn that someone wasn't doing anything. That's good. 100% staff utilization. Good. Okay, there was something. Let's see the results. Okay, so they got those systems. Yeah, good game. Good game. I guess I can perform some labbing at this moment. Yeah, let's go. So I need to prepare for the yeah, not this. Green and black, yeah, this is it. I need to train to learn for the LFCS. So I'm doing some scenarios, Okay, so we need to create a new user. I will change the usernames and stuff like that. So in order to... I'm using this CentOS system. I will be doing the exam of the CentOS 7, which will be they will discontinue soon. They are moving to the CentOS 8 and the Ubuntu 20. So yeah, so I need to pass because there are the stuff in the CentOS 8 are different, and there are no materials for the CentOS 8. So yeah, it's good to pass fast as possible. Okay, so let's make some scenario. Okay, so we will create new local user account, name Timmy, initial password Timmy, shell, let's go with the KSH, a member of cool users. Okay, create a new local group named fancy admins above or fancy administrators. Add TV to fancy administrators. Some basic stuff. I'm using Vim to do the file editing. So we got our question one. So we will use the user add command so we can add Timmy. Okay, and let's add something else to our question. Timmy has to change the password on the first login. I'm using the mechanical keyboard, so you guys will hear the sound, but I really like writing on the mechanical keyboard, so yeah, let's go back to the stuff, the question. So I will use user add to add the Timmy. I'm currently logged in with the root account. Yeah, it's not the best practice to use the root account, but I guess for the exam it will be just fine. So yeah, let's actually add the user Timmy. I know that you can use the command and set the stuff while you are adding the user, but I don't really like it. I like to add the user and then modify the user with the user mod command. Yeah, so we can like set the shell. Okay, something is wrong. It's not the shell. User mode. Let's check the. It is. Oh, we need the user now, right? Okay, so let's modify the shell for the Timmy. Let's cut the question again. So member of the cool users. I do believe I don't have the group of cool users. Let's cut the group and grep for the cool users. Okay, we do not have cool users, so we need to group up cool users. Now we can check if there are cool users yet. And now we need to add Timmy to cool users with the usermod command. Okay. What else? Timmy has to change the password on the first login. I do believe you can do it with the ch command and with the passwd command. Yeah. Expire. Yeah. You can set the. You can expire the password with the passwd command. So yeah. I also recommend, if someone is considering taking the exam, the TLDR command. You need to install it. You need to install the Apple release before that, and the TLDR command. I have it installed, so it shouldn't go through. Yeah, nothing to do because they are installed. TLDR command is really nice command to get some quick examples. Let's do the TLDR passwd. You get short description, what the command is used for, and some nice examples. Yeah. So let's expire the password for Timmy. Yeah, we have expired the password for Timmy. Let's check if the Timmy is a member of the cool users. Okay, we will now add the fancy administrators with the group add command. Yeah, and we need to add the user Timmy with fancy administrators. I use the usermod command with the append switch, the capital G, to specify the group. Yeah, and we can check with the ID command. Timmy should be with the cool users, the fancy administrators. And this is some basic, I guess, user management, group management, some basic scenario. Okay, let's move on to something. Let's see what disk I have. Nothing actually. So, since this is the virtual machine, let's add some. I keep typing sudo, but I don't need. Let's power up the machine. We will add the external, not the external, but the extra drive to our machine. Yeah, it's nothing actually interesting here. So we can add the storage, can create a new drive. Let's call it CentOS 7 streaming dot. Let's make it eight. It's fine. Let's choose it. Yeah, it's here. Let's also add another one. 8 is fine. Streaming 2. Let's choose it. Yeah. And let's start our machine. Okay, it's booting. So now we will create the ext4 file system. We'll create the partition, create the ext4 file system, and we will attempt to repair the file system. some quick scenarios, some easy scenarios for you guys. Also, so I can practice with the command line, because it's really important. Perhaps someone will get something from it. Yeah, okay. Let's log into the machine. Okay, it's so slow, I don't know why. Okay, so let's maximize it. Okay, you can see I was doing some integration to the Sentinel, doing some live labs with the Sentinel. Perhaps I will stream it sometime in the future. Maybe, maybe not, I don't really know. Okay, so let's go with the root. So we completed the question 1, let's do the question 2. Prepare the file system. Prepare the ext4 file system. Yeah. And that should be it. Let's also create the ext4 partition of 2 gigabytes formatted with ext4 file system and label it as perhaps, I don't know, LFCS. Yeah, let's then repair it, and then we can make sure it is mounted. It is auto mounted on LFCS. Okay, so we got the question and we got our new drives. I used the LSBLK to list my block devices. Let's see what the TLDR command will say about the LSBLK. Listing information about devices. Yeah. Some useful switches for you guys, some useful stuff. I actually use only the standard command. I'm not using any switches often. So yeah. So we will perform an action on SDB. Let's cut the question 2 again. Okay. I use the gdisk. Let's make it UEFI partition. I mean the GPT partition. With the GPT table. So we will use the gdisk utility. For the MBR partition I would use the fdisk utility. The process of creating partition with both tools are exactly the same, I believe, very similar. So yeah, let's go with the gdisk, the SDB. Okay, so we can create new. Let's actually do the question mark. Let's see what options we have. Okay, so the most important for us is the add new partition. Print the partition table is useful to see if you have performed everything correct before you write to the disk, the changes to the disk. So let's press the N. Partition number 1. Yeah. With the GPT, you are able to create 128 partitions. First sector, I always leave default. Then we should, yeah. How much? 2 gigs. Okay, 2 gigabytes. So 2 gigabytes plus 2 gigabytes. Linux file system type is fine. Okay, so we have created, we can check with the P to print the table. Okay, I'm satisfied with this. So we can write the changes. We can proceed. Okay, that's good. And then we change with the lsblk command if the changes took effect. If it doesn't, that means something. Well, most of the time the disk was in use, or the partitions on the disk that you have been performing actions were in use. So you would need to run the part probe. I can run it. Yeah, I got some errors with the CD that is inserted in this machine, but it doesn't matter. So you can run part probe, then lsblk again, and it should, the new partition that you have created should appear. Okay, so now we can do some formatting, right? Let's type the question 2 again. I'm taking my time by doing this. I know that on the LFCS I do not have much time to perform the exam, but this is kind of a walkthrough, so I'm explaining some stuff and taking my time. Those are very easy, fundamental sysadmin stuff, so yeah. Okay, so now we create the file system ext4. I use the mkfs command for this. Let's see the TLDR for this. Create an ext4 file system with a volume label. That is actually perfect for our scenario. But I want to make you aware of another tool, which is tune2fs. Let's TLDR this tool. Yeah, and you can set the file system label on already created and formatted file system. This command works on the formatted file systems, on the formatted partitions. So yeah, if you have forgotten while formatting the partition, if you have forgotten to put the label, you can use the tune command and put the label after the partition has been formatted. So yeah, let's actually, I like doing one step. Each action is one step, but let's use this command and let's actually create. Okay, I did something not bad. I copy and paste the command and it ran. It's something to talk about actually, because if you copy something and it's good practice to put the hash sign and then put the command. So it ran, but it doesn't do anything. It's good practice. Then you can press the arrow up and make changes to the command and then run it again. So we actually created the partition. but we gave it a wrong volume label. So let's check our partition we have created with tune command. We can use the L switch to list information about this partition. We can see, yes, indeed we have provided wrong label. Let's see if we can change it with tune and 2fs. So let's cut the question again because I don't remember the label. Label is LFCS. Let's tune 2fs. Capital L for label. LFCS. SDB 1. Yeah, and it should be fine. It went fine. We can check the partition again and check its label. Yeah, we have the correct label now. That's good. Let's cut the question again. Okay, so now we repair the file system. To repair the file system, it cannot be mounted. So this is actually, it can be mounted, but I do believe it's better to unmount the system before you attempt to perform those repairs. Let's imagine the scenario that you don't know the command, the tool, the utility to use to perform the repairing of the file system, of the ext4 file system. Let's use the manual command with the key, the K switch, which stands for keyword, I do believe, and we will search for the repair. Okay, we got something back, and we can see that FSCK is our command to repair Linux file system. Let's TLDR FSCK. Okay, we can use, I guess, the A command. I mean the A switch. Let's copy the command. Let's put the hash sign. SDB1 is our partition. Let's run the command. It shouldn't do anything because the partition is freshly created, so it shouldn't have any problems. So yeah, and now we can make sure it is auto mounted on LFCS. Let's create the mounting point. Give me a second, guys.
Przeszkadzam?
Chwila.
Przepraszam. Przyjdź tam sobie posiedzieć, już skończyli robotę, wiesz? No.
Okay. Okay, so let's make sure that the partition is auto mounted. We do it in the etc fstab file. Go to the bottom, insert new line, and we can do it in different ways. We can specify the file path, the path to the partition, or we can use the label. Let's use the label. Next we need the mounting point, then we need the file system, then the mounting options. In this case defaults, we there was nothing specified for this, and this is it. So yeah, we will mount our file system with the label LFCS on the /LFCS directory, which is file system ext4. We will use the default mounting points, or I won't bother on those options. There's something more advanced, so yeah, just leave it as 00 most of the time. So yeah, let's save it, and now we can perform the mount -A. Let's check the mount actually. TLDR, I highly recommend this command for you guys. It's really amazing, doing some great stuff. This is my go-to. Then I look in the man pages. But yeah, this provides quick information about the command. I also recommend using this switch, which will update the TLDR database. So yeah, let's update it. But yeah, going back to the mount command, we can use this command to mount all the file system defined in fstab file. So yeah, let's use it. And it didn't complain. This is a good sign. Let's now use the basic command, which will show all mounted file system. Yeah, the big output is here, but the latest mounted file system are always on the bottom. You can see it here. We got the label on it as well. It's mounted on the LFCS directory, but to be 100% sure, we can reboot. Keep using the sudo. We can reboot the system and check if the partition is mounted after the reboot. It should be mounted automatically. Of course, on the LFCS exam you shouldn't reboot. You are not allowed to reboot actually. Not sure if you are allowed or not allowed to reboot the systems. I guess it's not very smart to reboot it, so yeah. But yeah, it's easy. If you do the mount -A command and it went without any problems, you are good to go. Let's check if it's mounted. Yeah. Sudo to our root account, and let's type the mount. Okay, you can see it's not mounted, is it? Let's grep. It's mounted, but it's not on the bottom, because sometimes in the file systems are being mounted in different order. So yeah, it's really important to allocate the label because of that. So we got this question to sorted out. What next can we do? I will do one more question, then I will go to chill for a bit, and I will be back with the streaming later on. So yeah, let's do the question 3. It will be for creating directories in the var tmp. Let's create this and required parents. Okay, let's create empty file in the above directory. Let's call it empty, and let's create 3 directories in a new dir. Call it 1, 2, 3. Remove var temp good 3 and everything that is inside. Okay, so we got our question. Okay, I have misspelled let's rename it move command. Okay, let's cut it to our screen. Okay, creating directories. Let's create directory. Let's tldr the mkdir command. Creates directory. Actually, this is the command that we will use with the p. Create directories recursively. Yeah, I'm not sure if it states for the parent, but yeah, it will create all the directories that are required. So let's do it. I will just type everything. Yeah, and I have forgotten to add the p switch. Let's do it now and it should go. And we can now check the tmp for yeah, and the directory is created and it should have all the other directories. We could check it with the tree command. I do not have it. Let's just install it just for the sake of this scenario. I'm not going to install many commands on the exam. So yeah, we can tree on the var tmp good. Yeah, you can see the structure should be very the same as this. y3p new dir. Okay, create empty file in the above dir, call it empty. So to do it we use the touch command. Let's tldr touch. It's mainly used for the changing of file access and modification time. You can touch the command. For example, do I have any file here? Let's check this file log. The last modification time was at this time. So a couple of hours ago, let's touch this file, at least this file again, and we have updated the time. So yeah, this is the main use for this command, but it's also used for creating of new empty file. So yeah, we'll touch the file. Let's cut the question again. Touch, specify the path. Let's call it empty. We can use it and list. Yeah, it's here. Create 3 directories in new dir called 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I will go to the directory new dir and mkdir 3. You can specify more directories. And now remove this directory, the good directory, and everything that is inside it. Okay, let's move to the var tmp. To remove the file, we use the rm command. Let's tldr this. Well, not only this command, you can also use rmdir command. Let's tldr also this. Remove site directory. Remove directory provided it's empty. It's only going to work if the directory is empty. Okay, and we got some hint here. Use rm-r, which stands for recursive, which will remove not empty directory. So this is the command that we will use. Let's try it. We're in the good directory. Okay, and yeah, let's descend. To avoid making approvals or accepting everything, I will just stop the command with the Ctrl+C and add the F switch for forcing. It's not safe command. I highly recommend using it very carefully. So yeah, let's just remove it, and it should be not here. Yeah, so we are fine. So yeah, with this command you can remove everything from the file system. That's, yeah. Give me a second, guys. Okay, and I will stop with this at this moment. I will go to chill for a bit because the weather is really nice, and I will be back later with some more scenarios, more practice. So yeah, thanks for watching, I guess, and I see you next time. Cheers.